If you need to add WebM support to Premiere Pro and Media Encoder, there are really two paths you can take. The first is to install a WebM plugin so you can work with WebM files directly inside Adobe apps. The second, and honestly the recommended option for most people, is to convert WebM into MP4 first using a free tool like HandBrake, which is usually much smoother for editing, importing, and exporting. In this video, I'll walk you through both methods step by step so you can choose the one that fits your workflow best. And if this tutorial helps, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next editing guide. Let's start with the plugin method. Use this only if you absolutely need to keep WebM in your Adobe workflow. The plugin most people use is WebM for Adobe from Fnord WebM. First, open your browser and download the WebM plugin from the official Fnord WebM source. Once the file finishes downloading, run the installer. It will usually be an .exe file on Windows. During the installation, make sure both Premiere Pro and Media Encoder are checked. That part is important, because if one of them is not selected, the plugin may not appear in both apps. After that, finish the install process and then restart Premiere Pro and Media Encoder completely. Don't skip the restart, because the apps usually need to reload their export modules before the plugin shows up. After restarting, open Premiere Pro and check whether the plugin was installed correctly. One place to verify it is the Effects panel, where you can search for WebM. Another place to check is the Export menu. Go to File, then Export, then Media, and look at the Format dropdown. If the plugin worked, you should now see WebM as an available format. That means Premiere Pro can recognize the plugin and you can start importing and exporting WebM files. If you want to import a WebM file, go to File, choose Import, and select your .webm file. In many cases, it should import normally now. If it doesn't, or if you get weird playback issues, that usually means the file or codec is not fully compatible with your setup. But if everything is working properly, you should be able to bring the file into your timeline like any other media clip. To export WebM, go to File, then Export, then Media. Set the format to WebM. After that, choose your codec. VP8 is usually the faster option, while VP9 gives you a smaller file size and often better quality. If you're trying to balance speed and compatibility, VP8 is a good choice. If you want higher compression and cleaner results, VP9 is often better. For resolution, match your sequence so your export stays consistent with your timeline. For bitrate, a good starting point is 8 to 12 megabits per second for 1080p and 15 to 25 megabits per second for 1440p or 4K. Also make sure you check Use Maximum Render Quality if you want the best possible export quality, especially when scaling footage. Now, if you run into common plugin problems, there is one fix that solves a lot of export issues. Go to Project Settings, then Renderer, and switch it to Software Only. This can help with GPU-related crashes, failed exports, or export errors that happen when the plugin doesn't play nicely with hardware acceleration. It's not always necessary, but if your WebM export keeps failing, this is one of the first things worth trying. Now, let's move to the second option, which is the one I recommend for most users. Instead of forcing Premiere Pro to work with WebM directly, convert the file to MP4 first using HandBrake. HandBrake is free, reliable, and much easier to work with in Premiere. This is especially useful if your WebM files are causing import problems or choppy playback. In most cases, converting WebM to MP4 will make your editing workflow much smoother. Open HandBrake and drag your .webm file into the program. Once it loads, set the format to MP4. For the video codec, choose H.264, also known as X.264. This is the most widely supported format for editing and export workflows in Premiere Pro and Media Encoder. Next, set your frame rate. Make sure the frame rate is set to same as source, and then check constant frame rate, also known as CFR. This is a very important setting because it fixes a lot of Premiere issues related to syncing, playback, and timeline stability. For quality settings, use an RF value between 18 and 22. Lower numbers mean better quality and larger files, while higher numbers give you smaller files with more compression. A good starting point is usually around 20. For the preset, choose Fast 1080p 30, or pick a preset that matches your resolution and gives you a good balance of speed and quality. Then start the conversion and let HandBrake process the file. Once it's done, you'll have an MP4 version that should import cleanly into Premiere Pro and Media Encoder without the same headaches WebM sometimes causes. So, to quickly summarize, if you must keep WebM, install the Fnord WebM plugin and verify that Premiere Pro and Media Encoder recognize it. If you want the easiest and most reliable workflow, use HandBrake to convert WebM to MP4 with H.264 and constant frame rate enabled. That second method is the one I'd recommend for most editors, because it saves time, avoids errors, and works better in Adobe software. If this video helped you out, please give it a like and subscribe for more editing tutorials, workflow tips, and simple fixes like this one. And if you have any questions or run into a problem during setup, leave a comment below and I'll do my best to help. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.